Our last guest of the night. I'm so excited to bring on. Please, everybody, let me welcome Amanda Lindsay. Woohoo!
Hello.
Hey, girl, you can hear me good?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. Okay,
Go ahead.
so I'm so excited to talk to you. I think all of us have been like cheering you on through the whole thing. We're so glad we saw you back. So let's get some clarity though from where you came from. Let's go way back. So the Wayback Machine, like where were you before you came into my world? What was life like? How were you struggling?
Oh my goodness. I believe it was summer, the first COVID summer. Let's say that 2020, I believe it was.
Yes.
And I had worked at a daycare center for over 20 years, and I had been laid off by via email. And I just thought that that was like, okay, come on now. I've invested most of my adult life
Wow.
at this center and have, taught so many children, and to be laid off in that way, I was just hurt.
So
And
how many years did you work there?
I worked there for 20 years, but I've been in childcare for over 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I during that summer, I was at home buying every learning seminar, teaching thing that I can get my hands on. I thought that I had secured one, but it was like teaching parents and adults. And adults really, that's not my jam, really. I love children and I love
Yeah.
teaching children. And so your ad came by on Facebook. And so I'm like, what is this? Like, what is this? And so I purchased the book and I didn't even put all of my address in. I was so excited. I was like, I didn't get my book for like 3 weeks
Yeah.
until 3 or 4. It was a while because I had the wrong address in there. And I think we were doing a live or something. And I had said, I didn't get my book yet or whatever. And so your team had reached out to me and but I received my book and I'm like, this is for me. I was doing ESL, waking up at 3:30 in the morning every single day, pretty much,
Holy cow.
and just draining my life, my body. And, when I first got started, my husband was like, you can do that for yourself because, and nobody will be taking your money.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Is
And
this your first experience of like, because before you always worked for somebody, right?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So I did that for 4 years. That is how I purchased my preschool in the box. That is how I purchased my All Stars. I mean, I was like humping like every class I can get
Yeah.
so that I can pay for that. And so, yeah, I loved it. I love it.
So when did you do a 7-day challenge with us?
Yes, I did. I
Do
did.
you remember which one? Was it maybe like, was it October 2020?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Okay. So a year and a half ago.
Yes. And
Okay.
I
Jumped right
started.
in. Did you get any students in your script?
So yes, I got one student, and this was a student that I taught um, at the daycare center,
Okay.
a sibling.
Yeah.
And so after I got that one student, another All Stars member said, "Hey, I don't want to do this. Do you want my kids?" I'm like,
Oh,
"Yeah."
that's awesome.
And so I took in her 3 kids, and
Yeah.
so I had 4 kids all of a
Nice.
sudden, and so it was wonderful to just take those kids in, but I didn't like the price, but I
Mm,
was just doing it and I
yeah.
couldn't raise the price,
Sure.
and so I just stuck with it for that for like 6 months.
Hmm.
And so I wasn't at the time, I did not see myself as like a social media person or even I don't post like that. I'm like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to market my school
Yeah.
if I'm not on social media? And so I think that was my real downfall.
Mm,
And so yeah, I stuck with it for about 6 months and then I'm like, okay, I need a consistent income.
yeah.
And so another job at a different childcare center, a Christian childcare center, asked me to come and I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna go back. And I felt like a failure. I cried
Mm,
for, oh my goodness, the first couple of months of being there. I cried and I thought that okay, how can I let go of my dream to go back and make somebody else's dream
Yeah.
better? Because I'm a damn good teacher. Excuse my French, guys.
That's all right.
That's a regular word though, but I don't use it like that. But I'm a good teacher. And so I felt so bad. And every day I call my mom and my dad on the way to work. And I said, I can't do this. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. This is after being my own boss for 6 months,
Mm.
setting my time, setting my curriculum. And
Yeah.
it was a struggle. And my dad said, Amanda, you're there for a reason. Stick it out, stick it out. And so I did. And I am still there at this time and doing setting up my preschool. But now what's different? I'm not ashamed to talk about my preschool.
Oh,
I'm not ashamed to post. I didn't block anybody. Hey, you see it, you see it. That's what I'm doing.
yeah.
Because I went in with the plan to leave in a year.
Beautiful.
My daughter graduates from high school. We're moving. And, one day during COVID, my whole class was out because someone, whatever. And
Yeah.
I was able to go, and I went in and I set up shop like it was my preschool. iPad with my props. Like, this is Amanda. And I'm reading stories. And so I sent our morning exercises, our hello song, our story, all of these things on our iPad
Yeah.
to all of my students. And the parents was like, this is amazing. This is wonderful. And my director said, I know what you can do when you leave for us.
Okay.
Said, we can contract you to be our online teacher.
Yes. Okay, hold up. I thought that was going to take a wrong turn. I thought she was going to be like, I'll pay you X and then you'll still work for us all this time. And I was like, gonna be like, but no, this is amazing.
No, it's amazing. And it's exactly what I wanted. And so it's like, okay, God has a purpose and everything works together for our good.
Yeah.
It does. The good, the bad. And I have suffered great loss in this time that I was away. And one thing that was consistent was God and all of Joy Anderson's ads.
Stop it. You're killing me.
And so I saw it and I told my husband, I said, I am doing this and I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I don't care. I have grown in my confidence, in my ability to just press post, in my ability to say, okay, all of those interested students, I'm going to reach back out to you. And because
I love
at
it.
the end of the day, it's about my family.
Yep.
And I will go and pay something for somebody else's business. Why can't I do it for myself?
Right.
Yep.
So when did this happen with your director contacting you and that one day that all the kids were out? When was that?
This was in January,
Awesome.
February of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been there for 6 months now.
Yeah.
And
but that was even before you came back into the challenge, back into our circled back. So let me ask you this, even though your Preschool All Stars, you're there for, I don't know, 6, however many months, you were there for longer than 6 months, right?
Yeah. I was there for probably a year.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I was confused about that. So you were there for a really long time. So let me ask you this though. If that moment where all of the kiddos would have been out of the class, let's say it was before October 2020, before the challenge, before you ever joined All Stars, and all the kids are out of the class and you're sitting there with 0 class, and would you have been the person to film all those videos, to send them out, to be you, would that have been you? Maybe it still was. It still was.
So because I think that my ESL background,
yeah, okay,
kind of given me that motivation, that
Yes.
to just step out there, because it's like, okay, ESL, you're talking to someone that do not understand any word that you're saying.
Yes, yes, yes.
So at that point, I had created this word. I'm an edutainer.
Yeah.
I educate children
Yeah.
while I make them laugh.
Yes.
And that's what I do.
Right.
And so it has created a teacher, a live teacher that is like,
Love
and
that.
and I'm just excited, and
Yeah.
I feel better about me now. Yep.
And you said what has changed is your ability to post social media though, right?
Yeah.
Confidently.
Yes. And also to reach out to people that know more than I do.
Ah,
Like, okay, my sister-in-law, she is a social media person. This is what I need.
yeah.
I Hey, I need someone to teach me that. And so I
Mhm.
also have the 365, and that's like once you get into all stars.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, I feel better. I feel better.
Well, we feel better that you're back. Like, it was like a void in All Stars without Amanda Lindsay.
Oh,
So, I'm gonna actually have you speak to a different audience, not the people on the fence. I'm gonna actually have you speak to All Stars, the ones that've been there a long time, the ones who are just barely joining. What do you need to say to All Stars? Because you had that experience of leaving and now coming back.
yeah. You know what? Before um even coming on, thinking about what I was gonna say, before coming on here, I thought of the redwoods in California,
Hmm.
the redwood trees. And I said, all stars are just like the redwoods to me. Redwoods grow very tall and they reach up to the stars.
Yeah.
All right. And they are able to um, sh- to stand in the midst of trial, tribulations, wind, and storm. That's the all stars. And so the redwoods stand, and if one is knocked down, all of them are going to be knocked down
Mm.
because they're so strong. And so you would think that because they're so tall, their roots are deep. No, their roots grow out. And so all stars are all across the world and across the country. Our roots are growing out where we are giving strength to each other. So
Mm.
I would say to those that are in it, stick with it. To those that are thinking about, oh, I can't afford this, I was in that place too. You can, you can figure it out. Yep, because I had to say, hey, I don't want this. I need to slow down in this area so that I'm able to get the support that I need, and to give support to women that need it from me. Yep.
You are amazing. We're so glad that you're back, Amanda.
Thank you. Me too. I am so happy. Yes.
Awesome. Well, everyone, if you haven't joined Preschool All Stars yet, go join Preschool All Stars. We can't wait for you to join us. Thank you,
Yes.
Amanda.
Thank you. Bye.